Discomfort is a very important signal. It has information for you. Here is what it means and what you should do about it. Now, when you feel uncomfortable in a situation with other people, there are 3 reasons why you might feel this way. Number 1, you're actually afraid and you're mislabeling it discomfort. Number 2, someone crossed your boundaries and you're really kind of angry, but you learn to call it discomfort. And number 3, someone's not living up to your expectations. And this can be a very important source for growth. Hi, I'm Miriam and I teach emotional intelligence skills. Welcome to EI for Life. Let's dig a little deeper. So let's say you are in a situation with one person or even several people and you feel uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Pause and ask yourself, what could it be? Reason number 1 could be you might actually be afraid. Now, fear is a very strong emotion. It's here to protect us. We're born with it. It's supposed to make us, run away or sometimes freeze in fear. So why would you not even recognize it? Many people grow up in situations when they are not actually allowed to act on their fear. Women in particular are often expected to stay in situations that scare them, to be polite or to not offend anyone. We are supposed to not just stay, but even interact with people who scare us instead of just leaving. So our brains start to call it discomfort instead of what it really is, fear. If you are in a situation like that, leave. Get away as fast as you can. And when you feel calmer, you can assess the situation and can check who exactly scared you, why did they scare you, where did the signal come from. But the step 1 is always listen to the fear. Okay, reason number 2 why you might feel uncomfortable. Someone crossed your boundary. This can be something as simple as unwanted touch. Maybe someone reached out their hand and you really don't like to shake hands. You don't want to touch somebody's sweaty palm. But again, we are trained into doing stuff we don't want to do. So you might cross your own boundary. Or somebody comes up at you and hugs you and you don't want to be rude, so you hug them back even though you really just want to push them off. That's discomfort. It's really, you might even experience anger, because anger is what is our actual emotional response to boundary crossings. But again, because when anger is not really acceptable in these situations, you're not supposed to punch people who try to hug you. You might let out the anger later on somebody else. And the signal you initially get is discomfort. Very important to pause and to look at what just happened. If somebody crossed your boundary, buckle up, because you will probably get angry later, or you will even feel anger right now. So don't suppress it, feel the emotion. I would also strongly suggest, if this happens to you a lot, you really, really want to learn to set boundaries and maintain them. And yes, I mean telling people not to touch you if you're not okay with being touched. I tell people I don't like to hug. It's not true. I like to hug some people, but very few. But in general, I just say I don't do hugging. That way I don't have to explain, I don't know you, dude. I don't want you to touch you. I don't want to touch you. So set your boundaries, maintain them. Discomfort is a wonderful way of discovering those boundaries. Reason number 3, and this one is a biggie. This one's a really cool one. When we grow, when we expand, when we change, we actually feel uncomfortable. Change and growth are uncomfortable. So when you feel discomfort, it might be because the situation you are in or somebody else's behavior. You might even watch a YouTube video and the person on the video doesn't behave the way you expect them to. Then you feel uncomfortable. Their behavior makes you uncomfortable. Now, I said change and growth can trigger discomfort. What's the difference? Change happens every day, all the time. When change just happens, we tend to change in the direction we're already heading. So for example, if you sit a lot at your computer typing like this and you're on your phone a lot, so you look down a lot, you may think you're doing the same thing, but actually your back muscles change every single day a little bit more until you have a hump. Totally happened to me. So change happens in any given moment. The same with emotions. If you think you experience the same emotions every single day, whether it is fear or whether it is joy, you may think that everything stays the same, but no, your body constantly changes, constantly adapts. You build up more of the neurotransmitters and the chemicals needed for this specific emotion. So over time, feeling this emotion is easier. It gets triggered more easily. It maybe even lasts longer. It feels familiar. And this getting to the familiar state, that is actually change. It happens automatically. So it can be good or it can be bad, because you can get used to joy or you can get used to anxiety, to fear. Growth. Growth is noticing that there's a potential to change in a specific direction. So you choose the direction, you choose joy, and then you deliberately practice consciously to get to joy. And at the beginning, this feels uncomfortable. It's the same with change. Even when you're on your phone, you might not remember it, but there was a time when you got a stiff neck and were uncomfortable about that. But after a while, your body adapts and your posture becomes like this and it's comfortable. It's just, all that happens is that you changed in a direction. Your body changed to make the situation bearable. And the same happens with emotions. So growth is choosing which way you want to go. Now here comes the wonderful, wonderful part. Let's say a person makes you uncomfortable. Their behavior makes you uncomfortable. It's up to you what you do with it. All it means, this person does not live up to your expectations. So you can do what many, many, many people do and just dismiss this person as rude. Or you can use them as a mirror and ask yourself, why do I expect them to act in a certain way? And why does it bother me? Because it doesn't really bother you what this person does. What makes you uncomfortable is that you had expectations. And you can choose to use this moment for growth. You can ask yourself, are my expectations valid? Let me give you an example. A few years ago, I watched an interview with Brie Larson, and you may have seen this too. So she plays Captain Marvel. And I think this was for the Avengers movie, one of the Avengers movies. And she was in an interview with Chris Hemsworth. And he made a comment, not a very nice comment, saying something along the lines, did she want to be the next Tom Cruise? Because she liked to do her own stunts. And then Brie Larson reacted with saying very, very clearly and in a very strong voice, no, she just wanted to be herself. And at that time, when I watched this video for the first time, I actually felt uncomfortable because she didn't behave as I would have expected her, you know. It's a fun interview. Ha ha ha. We're all just joking around. Ha ha ha. Instead, she drew a line. She said, no, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. And at that time, it made me uncomfortable. And now, years later, I choose to use that moment, my personal discomfort, for growth. I choose to look at, why did I feel uncomfortable? Were my expectations for her behavior in any way unreasonable? Yeah. She has every right to state very clearly that she's not trying to be anybody else but herself. And this is how you can use it. By feeling my discomfort, by noticing, and by actually checking in with my expectations, I could easily look at them and see, actually, I'm just expecting her to be Miss Nice Girl. And that's quite sick if you think about it. Why should she be? Why shouldn't she be just herself, right? So this is a moment of growth because I used discomfort as a signal. I paused, I thought about what triggered it, what were my expectations, And then in a calm moment, I looked at, are my expectations valid? And 9 times out of 10, they're not. Because that's the other beauty about discomfort. If it wasn't a big deal, you wouldn't feel uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is a signal that something is wrong. Whether it's because you're afraid, a situation makes you afraid, whether it's because someone just crossed your boundaries, or whether it's you have expectations you actually somewhere deep down no longer believe. That's why they now make you uncomfortable. Whatever it is, take the time to pause and actually notice. Discomfort is a wonderful signal. It can keep you safe. It helps you set boundaries, and it helps you grow if you let it. Because the choice is yours. You can do what most people do, ignore the discomfort and just go for change. Dismiss people who do not live up to your expectations and always, stay in the moral lane everybody else is in. Or you can use it as a sign and actually look at it. Why do you have these expectations? Did you learn them from other people? Maybe it's time to leave them behind, eh? All right. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I will get around to it eventually. If you liked the video, do hit like. It does motivate me very much. And if you feel like sharing it with anybody else, please do. I post more videos more or less regularly, so subscribe if you want to be notified when anything new comes up. Take care of yourself and have a wonderful